We're in a series at Mac called Letters to a Young Professional. It's looking at 2 letters that the Apostle Paul wrote in the New Testament to a young leader in the church named Timothy. Now, if you missed either of these first 2 installments, I'd encourage you to go get caught up on the Mech app or Mech's YouTube channel. So Pastor Jim started out this week talking about what it means to be called an apostle. There are 4 things that he noted that were essential. First, that apostles had been sent by Jesus. Second, that they were uniquely commissioned by him. Third, that they spoke in Jesus' name and in his authority. And then finally, that they were inspired to teach and to write. Now, if you study Paul's life found in the Bible, it is wild to think that his beginning would lead him to bearing this title. You see, Paul started out a man named Saul, a man who spent his days persecuting those who considered themselves Christ followers. Now, you can read the full story about his transition from persecutor to apostle in a book of the Bible called Acts in the 9th chapter. But here are just some quick snapshots from that chapter. Saul was uttering threats with every breath and was eager to kill the Lord's followers. As he was approaching Damascus on this mission, a light from heaven suddenly shone down around him. He fell to the ground and heard a voice saying to him, "Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me?" "Who are you, Lord?" Saul asked. And the voice replied, "I am Jesus, the one you are persecuting. Now get up and go into the city, and you will be told what you must do." The Lord said, "Saul is my chosen instrument to take my message to the Gentiles and to kings, as well as to the people of Israel, and I will show him how much he must suffer for my name's sake." Saul stayed with the believers in Damascus for a few days, and immediately he began preaching about Jesus in the synagogues, saying, "He is indeed the Son of God." All who heard him were amazed. "Isn't this the same man who caused such devastation among Jesus' followers in Jerusalem?" they asked. "And didn't he come to arrest them and take them in chains to the leading priests?" Saul's preaching became more and more powerful, and the Jews in Damascus couldn't refute his proofs that Jesus was indeed the Messiah. Now, I read all of that to say that it's important to remember that God can use anyone, and I mean anyone. You know, I think sometimes people who aren't in a relationship with Jesus think that they have too much junk in their past to come to him, to be used by him. They think they're unworthy of his love. Yet here was a man who made it his mission in life to hunt down and kill Christians. And God turned him into the most powerful missionary who ever lived and the author of a large portion of the New Testament of the Bible. So if you aren't in a relationship with Jesus, I would challenge you to consider that God just might have a plan in store for your life too.